but they won't necessarily have much of a disturbance than the other if they're moving fast. And the key thing here is the galaxies are going to move by each other slowly enough that the stars in one will recognize the gravitational influence of the other and have time to respond to it before the galaxy moves on. So, you know, they've got to be fairly slowly moving. So, for example, clusters, you might think, are a great place for galaxy interactions to take place, but in fact the galaxies are kind of whizzing by each other too fast, and it's not a strong place for gravitational interactions. So two galaxies moving relatively slowly to each other is good, fast is bad. And it also depends how close they get. Remember, gravity is an inverse square law. The closer you are, the stronger the gravitational disturbance. And as I mentioned, you know, the relative directions about whether it's moving the same, it's rotating the same direction, it approaches a galaxy, or in the opposite direction as to how badly it gets unraveled with the spiral arms. One direction produces spiral arms in you know, beauty, other one barely shows any. And all of these are done through simulations. But just to show you a few examples, here's one where the mass is very unevenly balanced. This is the Whirlpool galaxy, and it's got a companion that's currently lying way behind it. And about 500 million years ago, that companion came out from behind the screen, looped up the far side of this disk, did a big trajectory, and then about 50 million years ago, plunged through here, this side, and is now lying way behind the spiral galaxy. And you can see how it's kind of pulled the arms of the M51, the big Whirlpool galaxy, slightly out askew, but they're slightly distorted. A wider view shows that there is matter still sprayed around, most of it originating from this smaller galaxy, though there are other tails from the main galaxy. Similarly here, this is where a small galaxy has got slightly closer to a bigger one. The interloper's just off camera down here, but it's plunged right through a disk of an ordinary spiral galaxy and has pulled a whole stream of matter behind it, which is now condensing to form lots of stars. So again, you get different effects. So not all of these end up looking at anything like that Milky Way Andromeda collision I showed you. It depends on how fast they're moving, all these other things. They may not even merge. One can just pass by and really wreck another one as it goes. And the simulations, this was pioneered in the early 1970s by the brothers Toomre and Toomre, who did very simplistic calculations, but did the first pass about how you generate these tidal tails, how one spiral galaxy affects another. Now you have incredibly computer-heavy n-body simulations where you perhaps model each, you can't model every individual star. You have to have different points. You represent a galaxy by a collection of points where each point is several millions of stars, and you step it forward in time where you kind of work out the